So that's the pre-sketch all done. I did this kind of off screen, just as a little hobby inside the house, you know, so I can't really record everything. But yeah, I've done the car in question and maybe a little house in the background, just as a rough guide. Did this with a simple brush pen. I'm not sure how this is going to react with water. It might just disappear, but we'll see what happens. And for the background, I was thinking of starting with some purples, maybe getting to red, warm colours. We'll see. Maybe some blues. Not too sure. Got my watercolour pan here. So I'm just going to go and select this first colour. It's quite desaturated, so I'll get a bit more paint on there. And my previous ones I usually do like a masking off border, but this one I just thought, yeah, let's just leave it. So I'm kind of pushing the paint onto that edge. I will kind of smudge it out later. And underneath I'm just adding lots of water. So let's go over more of a fixed edge. And let's go with some red maybe. These backgrounds I don't really plan out much. I just kind of have an interesting idea, then just go along with it, see what happens. Okay, that's looking cool. It's quite desaturated there. Just going to tap some paint in to make it run to the edges. And let's get some a bit more orange, I think, in there. Okay, now I'm just going to do a base colour, yellow. So now I've got the paint at the top. I'm just applying just a simple base colour, just because I want to get rid of as much white as possible. You might not even see this house anymore, but I don't know, we'll see what happens. Put a bit on the vehicle. There. This is going to bleed through quite a lot, but never mind. I think it'll be a cool effect. Got a touch more on that car, I think. Yeah, a bit of yellow in there just to blend it down a bit. There we go. Give this a bit of a wash as well. wonder what would happen if I had some splatters in there. I do like doing splatter work. Interesting. Now I'm just going to use a tissue paper to lift off any edges that I don't want. And this helps create a bit of texture as well. Yeah, I'm just going to use a ruler, get some lines. Okay, so I'm going to let this dry and I'll work on the next layer, maybe do a bit in time lapse. Then I'll go into some more progress, see how we do. So a progress update, that's a vast quantity of all the watercolours I think I want to add there. It's getting fairly saturated and stuff. It's all dry now, so now I'm going to try and build up some more details within it, maybe a bit more colour here and there. I was going to try something a bit different. I was going to maybe add a blue highlight on the bottom here, so have this as like a blue shadow. Because like with my previous ones, I don't really like to have jet black shadows. I like to add lots of colour in there. So I'm going to add like a blue edge with some posca markers. And we'll see what kind of effect that'll have. And then the opposite side, to contrast that blue, I might have a bit of yellow on this edge. So yellow coming in this side, blue coming in this side. We'll see what happens. Also, I want to build up a bit more contrast within this and smooth it out a little bit. So I'm going to use some markers. So this is just a grey marker. And this will help just darken everything down a bit, and I think it'll just smooth the overall image. So I've got a nice like sharp shadow here from the windscreen, so I think that's kind of cool. I want to have maybe this one a bit more faded. Let me just dull down this yellow, I think. A bit of shadow from the side mirror. And also in the background, I want to kind of blur this edge out a bit. I don't really like how it's a fixed edge. So I've got a big blob of acrylic paint here. I'm just going to use a little sharpener. And I'm just going to dab a little pattern. I've done this before in the past. And just create like a little tapping motion. And as there's less paint on the actual lid or the sharpener, I'm going to go further in. This is creating like a really nice, cool, interesting textured background. It'll just help break it up a bit. And I think it'll help pull the car forward a bit more, because this will make the background a bit more broken and textured and stuff, but then the car will be very thin lines and very straightforward. So yeah, I'll go into that in time lapse and we'll see what happens. Okay, so I think that's going to do it for all now. As you can see, I added this letter in the background, which is Honda in Japanese graphics, so I thought that'd be kind of cool. Went that with the marker, then I did a few highlights with the yellow, black. I did a few little like white little lines here, and a few other things. Then I kind of coated the whole thing with oil pencils, just to give like a plain, kind of keep it flat in the background there, which helped make the car pop out more. I thought it'd be kind of cool. Still a bit wet here. To add like a little bit of highlight on the lights here. This is just a simple like white gouache paint, and then I've just smudged it in one direction, just to give that those highlights a bit of a glow. And also it helps pull the car forward, because you've got all this chaos in the background. You've got the watercolour base that I had before with the warm tones. You've got this blue lines going across. You've got the lettering on top of that. Then you've got these little arrows that I did. Then you've got the purple. Then you've got the orange layer on top of that. Then on top of all those layers, you've got this nice light coming through. So there's about 10 layers or something on top of there, and this just helps stack everything up on top of each other. And it also helps create like a nice light sheen right across it. So yeah, this has got a bit of a blue hue here. I'm not too sure if I'm a fan of that. It looks a little odd, but I think not too bad. This painting didn't really turn out the way I would like it. It just didn't seem to have the effect. I still like it, but it's not just the way I wanted it really. I'm not really sure what it is. Normally when I'm stuck on a painting, I'm not sure what to do next, or if I don't know if it's going in the right direction, I'll send a picture to the customer and just give them a progress update. I won't tell them how I'm feeling, because if I tell them how I'm feeling, it'll give a preemptive assumption. And they might say, it looks fantastic, I like the way you did this, or I like the way that. And I'll be like, oh, I didn't even see it that way. Or they might say, this needs improving. I'll be like, yes, I agree, and I might just improve it. But a lot of the times, excuse me, a lot of the times when I was working on a picture, you know, sometimes you would feel like it's not working. Sometimes you get those kind of feelings, and what separates the pros from the amateurs is the pros will sometimes just keep on working on it. Okay, it's not working the way I want it, because these aren't really planned out at all. So how it actually ends up, it's not really predictable very much. So it's not working, so let's just add 30 minutes to it, and in 30 minutes let's just see how it looks then. And then just crack on. You might see something here, you might see something there. You get some people who are like architects of a drawing, where they like to plan everything out. Let's do this colour, let's do this car, let's do that background, and let's stick to that. I'm more of like what Stephen King writes novels, which is like a gardener. He doesn't plan his stories out. He has a prompt and let's reveal. Likewise to here, I have this car. Let's just reveal and just see what happens. So it doesn't always turn out the way I want it, but how the end is determined up to you. But yeah, I'll probably go to like it. It's pretty cool. Anyway guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you there for the next one.